Okay, welcome. Kohalayim Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakar Kodash. Give it double honors to the elders, Apostle Great Millstone, and the bishops of Connecticut. I'm going to give double honors to those men as well, men I learned from, through the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. My name is Lamadia, and the premise of this video, we're going to talk about being in the beginning of Jacob's trouble. And before I bring out any scriptures, let me play this video of Miro 47, as the Elder Pastor Hall had coined it.
Despite all of the damage that it's caused, the shutdown has been, pretty damaging. I mean, it's not yet because it's early, but it gets a little bit worse as it goes along. And we'll be making cuts that will be permanent. And we're only going to cut Democrat programs. I hate to tell you. I guess that makes sense. But we're only cutting Democrat programs. But we're going to start that. And we have Russell, we can talk to you about it if he wants to, but we'll be cutting some very popular Democrat programs that aren't popular with Republicans, frankly, because that's the way it works. They wanted to do this, so we'll give them a little taste of their own medicine. But Chuck Schumer proclaimed this morning that every day gets better for them. No, every day it's actually getting worse for them. And they're having a rebellion in the Democrat Party because they want to stop. And if you saw all of Schumer's, I watched last night like 10 different times over the years, he said, you can't shut down government, you can't shut down, and now he's the one that shut it down.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news.
So, Trump, he's cutting back on program, and as he said, he's cutting back on Democrat programs. And a lot of these Democrat programs are the programs that you tribes survive off. And a lot of these attacks is really target after the tribes. And it's only going to escalate. And even with this, you see what's happening with this government shutdown. They're speaking about people that work for the government not receiving back pay for their time lost. So this is the beginning of the demise of America. We warned you about these times. Now things starting to escalate, and it's only going to escalate even more. And also, a lot of you women work for the ones that have these city jobs. But what the Lord's has happening is a lot of women are losing work. Which that's going to bring me to this next video.
The job market is so bad that when I went to Washington, D.C., I dropped off copies of my resume to my state representatives and was like, hey, can you help me find a job?
2025, I'm going to need a refund because this year sucks already. I just got laid off for basically the second time back to back.
So we're in these fat government shutdowns right now. I mean, we're in like a third day. It's not looking good. I mean, tens of thousands of people are now being fired. And I think a lot of these layoffs are going to be permanent. It's getting a little bit scary, guys. I mean, unemployment is going to be taken up for sure. And for all of you out there who are all complaining how hard it is in the job market, it's about to get harder as hundreds of thousands of federal workers are now flooding the private markets. So if you look at this, the U.S. government faces this humongous layoff spree. And a lot of people are basically leaving the federal sector and they're going to the private sector, which the private sector is already messed up because so many people are basically being fired. And the federal sector is honestly making the private sector job area even worse, as the private sector is dealing with a possible mild recession. They're hiring a bunch of people overseas and they're outsourcing a bunch of jobs. So even like the new college grads, they can't get a single thing. I mean, even getting a job at freaking McDonald's at this point is actually pretty hard. I mean, 154,000 federal workers basically took out this buyout plan. They took the money, it's like a few months of like severance, and these guys are permanently gone. But what the scary part is, you got like 750,000 federal employees are basically gone every single day. That's like almost 1 million people right there. That number is increasing all the time, and a lot
of these employees not coming back to work. So they better start looking for another job. And the ones that being impacted by this shutdown the most are women. Now, this video is a couple days old. He said we in day 3, but now we in, I believe, day 10 of the government shutdown. So thing is heating up. I'm not gonna play the whole video. The video is 27, about like 27 to 28 minutes long. But let's go to Ecclesiasticus out of the Apocrypha 39 verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancients, and be occupied in prophecies. And here at GMS, beginning with Elder Pastor Hall, that's all we go into is prophecy. And like we break down all the time, the word wisdom or the word wise really means to see. It's from the Latin word videre, and it means to see. All right? Because the scriptures, through the prophets, but through Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the vision given to the prophets, foretold the events that was going to happen in the future. So they seen it already. In the words of the Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is wisdom. Now, I want to look at the word meditate. Let's see what that means. I want to go to etymology. There you go, meditate. I don't know if you can see it. From the Latin, meditere, and it means to measure. Meditate really means to measure. So when you meditate, you're really measuring. Now, that brings me to 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, and 1. And he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently. And how do we measure the time diligently? By looking over the prophecies. That's how we know how close we are to the end, through the prophecies, through the scriptures. So when you meditating, what are you doing? You're measuring. And the scripture say, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And we in that time. We in that time with the Most High about to visit the world and judge it. And we measuring. We see that the MOTB system is being set in place, because the destruction is not going to happen until the MOTB get mandated. So, verse 3, therefore when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and we see that happening, especially the uproars. You had uproars of people protesting against the ICE raids. you have people protesting against a lot of different things, but the Lord said this will happen. You know, we have a civil war that is about to take place with certain states or Democratic states is not with what Trump is doing. So that leads to the uproars of the people. Verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And we warning you. You know, we've been telling you about the times that's coming, but a lot of people take it as a joke. You know, they took it as a joke. You had other camps coming up against us saying that the MOTB is not the microchip. Now we here. What you gonna say now? It's becoming more evident as time go by that the MOTB is the microchip. Verse 6. Even so, the time also of the highest had plain beginning and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And everyone that should be saved and should be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. So our faith is going to be the thing that deliver us. And we have to pray for more faith, because each person's faith is going to be challenged as we get closer to the end. And the event that's going to take place that's going to challenge everyone's faith is when they mandate the microchip. Some guys is going to get disenchanted, but if you're of the elect, you're going to stand your ground. You're not going to lose. You're not going to lose. Break your frame. Now, this Psalms 119 and 15. I will meditate in thy precepts. And he broke down the word meditate. And the precept is the scriptures. And have respect unto thy ways. And look at the word respect. Read, meaning back. Spec means to look. Meaning to look back. To look back at what? The works of the Heavenly Father. And the Lord always delivered the righteous. The Lord always showed mercy on the righteous. So we got to look back at the scriptures, because the scriptures say what? It says, the things that was written aforetime was written for our learning. And then it goes on and speaks about through faith is how we're going to be delivered. So, you got to look back. Now, no one have ever been forsaken that feared the Lord. Look back at the account of Daniel being in the lion's den, or the 3 holy children. And they was put in the furnace. The Most High was with them and protected them. Okay? And I'm going to close with this. Isaiah 19 and 15. You know what? 14. The Lord had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt talking about America, How do we know? Go to Revelation 11 and 8. It speaks about it being spiritually Sodom and Egypt. So it says, and they have caught Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Neither should there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. And that's what's happening. There's a lack of work in America, and people are starting to feel the pain. Well, like I said earlier, things is only going to escalate, and it's going to lead to the nuclear destruction, and Yahweh shall return. So just stay strong, keep your head into the scriptures, and I'm going to say, Kolayim Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rukar Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.